brands, go to the design agencies, teach them about the capabilities, both of the software and the hardware, and we actually develop campaigns and ideas together for digital print. So like global creative manager means that I kind of touch everything from the development side to the ideation part to the production part.
Welcome to Print is Back, the creative print-related podcast. I'm Jacques Michiels.
And I'm Andreas Weber.
We are your hosts. Welcome. So hello one and all, and welcome back to this new episode. And today we have another special guest. And this time we have the pleasure of having Guy Bidi, and he is the Global Creative Manager to HP Industrial Print. Hi Guy, how are you today?
Very well, thank you for inviting me.
Perfect, great to have you, and hello Andreas as well. So Guy, just bring us a little bit up to speed. Global Creative Manager for HP Industrial Print. What is it about?
It's a good question. So actually my journey in the HP is long. I started in 2009, but I started as an R&D technician. And you know, my background is I'm a creative designer. I studied the visual communications, and I arrived to R&D, which is not like the best place for me. But I started working on the variable data tools, and then with creativity, we started developing the HP Mosaic and the capabilities, and then we started working with brands, and we did the Coca-Cola campaign, and then there wasn't a product manager. So I moved to become the product manager of the creativity tools. And because I have the capabilities of both design and technical abilities, I also joined the brands and agencies team.
Well, Andreas, I think we hit the sweet spot here for our Print is Back podcast, because this guy is really into all the creative stuff. As you said, Guy, the Coca-Cola campaign, in a prior episode, we talked to Richard Askham. Probably you know him well because he was also on the Coca-Cola campaign. For you guys, I think that was 2014. Since then, you mentioned you've spoken to a lot of creative agencies, to be an evangelist of sorts to the printing industry. So, can you give us some more examples, but maybe a bit more recent of, let's say, that quest that you do?
Yes, well, definitely. So, you know, it's always evolving, right? So the Coca-Cola campaign started with the names or Share a Coke campaign 1.0. Then we did Mosaic. We did this in Israel, but also in the United States. We did a lot of activations with Coca-Cola brands apart from that. But, you know, it's always evolving. The campaigns keep evolving. The marketing always evolves. For example, Nutella, which is another brand that we work closely with, we are doing more than one campaign per year. So it's always taking the tools to the next level. Just now we created a kind of like a proof of concept with them, where we actually generated with variable data AI images that are legal. So basically all of the Nutella labels are reimagined to AI, and basically we can print it as a legal entity. But we're doing this exploration with lots of brands. Smirnoff, Heineken, Kit Kat, even smaller brands like Incapto, a local brewery in Israel called Beer Bazaar. The lovely thing about the capabilities of the tools and the HP presses is the fact that if you want to print a campaign like 1 in a billion that Heineken did, where they printed 1 billion different labels, or you want to create a campaign for a local brewery in Israel for 6,000 labels, you use the same tools. And everything is approachable.
So, and what you do, Guy, is are you something like a sparring partner, moderator, recommending the tools, and then on the other side you have HP Industrial Printing customers realizing the job, or how does that collaboration works?
That's a great question. So, you know, we work to help our customers, the print service providers, get more jobs. Of course, if a print service provider comes to us and says, we have a brand, we need to offer them something, we will help this print service provider with the tools that we have, teach them about the solutions, and they can take it with their brands. But sometimes we find the brands, or the brands come to us to do an ideation program. We have a program called HP Garage, where we actually take a design brief and we can break it. And we can analyze the brief according to the capabilities of the software and the presses. And then we assign, according to the brand's preferences, the brand is actually selecting the PSP to work with. So we bring volume back to our customers, but also assist our customers in engaging with their consumers, or sorry, their brands or their customers.
Their brands, right. Well, you being HP Indigo industrial printer at the moment, but if we look at this at the, let's say, from a wider perspective for the whole industry, let's say the technology nowadays that enables that mass customization at scale, what is the most creative, ambitious project you've seen so far coming to life using these capabilities?
Wow, that's a difficult question. We have done so many crazy campaigns over the years, but there are a few memorable ones that I really, really love as a story. One of them was actually by Nutella back in 2019, and it was during COVID. And Italy, if you remember, really suffered badly in the beginning of COVID, sadly. But Nutella did something really amazing and kind of connected the people who stayed at home with the Nutella jar. The way that they did it is that they created tons of unique jars. Of course, Mosaic can create unique items, but then instead of one jar, they actually created two jars. They called it Nutella Twins. They separated them at birth and sent it all across Italy for people to find two jars that are identical over social media. And if two people that do not know each other found the same jar, they could enter to win something together. And the connection, the collaboration between two people that already sat at home was very memorable. It was a very successful campaign, both on the technological side, but also from the brand side. And it's just a memorable story to tell.
Yeah, that's basically what we're trying to show to the world or to the people that love print, that print enables something else, another connection, another value, or another type of interaction with the humans, that in our opinion, sometimes the pure digital cannot do. As you said, they were scattered along Italy, and there was human interaction, and I think that it's a tremendous value that print can bring to the table. Of course, it's a combination of all the technologies, because the digital technology, obviously, with your softwares and is heavily involved to be able to create a solution. But I think this is a fun example, and a striking one for that matter as well. But as you were telling, so I think that it's interesting for people to listen to and to know about these type of cases. You also pulled off a nice one some time back, but what was that about? I think it was for a magazine called Label and Labeling, no?
So yeah, we did a lot of covers and also a lot of technologies for commercial printing. For labels and labeling, I think we did the Mosaic cover. We also did one for Graphics Review recently, where they actually reimagined like cats and dogs on the covers. Each one of them was unique with a different set of a mustache or a hat or a different clothes, etc. But if I talk about the covers, for example, imagine the fact that we did an activation with a magazine here in Israel, where you can actually reimagine each cover with ChatGPT. So you ask ChatGPT to write a piece of code for you that is generative art. Basically, it's a visualized code. And basically, with our set of tools, you can call this ChatGPT code and reimagine each cover forever. So basically, you have a designer kind of writing the code to have a nice visualizations, nice colors that will always complement one another. And the cover, of course, is unique. So the technology with AI, with print, is again memorable. Yeah.
Yeah. So even our audience, there are also creative agencies. There are a lot of people involved in the creative part as well. What advice would you give to those designers who want to push the boundaries of print but are used to working in digital mainly? What would your recommendation be? You being an expert in how they can address this, let's say these extra values in print that they can put at work for their campaigns.
First of all, engage with us. We have a lot of tools to help them learn the capabilities. But more than that, I think that as a designer, you have a unique opportunity to do something that not non-printer designers can do. The fact that you can actually automate your design. As I mentioned, I go to a lot of design agencies and I go to a lot of brands. And usually I start my presentation by asking them, guys, how much time do you think it would take you to create 1,000 different boxes, unique boxes? Now, I specifically selected the number 1,000 because it's not a billion, it's not 1 million, it's not even 100,000. 1,000 images is something that you can do.
It's a doable amount.
Exactly. So the answers usually revolve between a week, 2 weeks, something like that. And I show them with our set of tools how you can do it with 3 clicks. And once they see the capabilities and they can start thinking about the design, that I don't see the design, I can just visualize it variable, it opens their mind to new capabilities, a new idea for designs, and also leverage over regular, call them quote unquote, regular designers. Mm-hmm. So the question is, what do I advise them? Is to engage with us, to take the plugin, to try it, to test it, and then to enrich their print capabilities.
And that means my observation in the past was that the creative community, they think using variable data is something like a nice to have to create fun and entertaining people at the end. But what I've learned from our discussion now, it's more or less a must-have because you can create a huge variety of different solutions you cannot reach with other ways of dealing with media. That's the point. So it's a must-have. For example, print is perfect in connecting people. You cannot have this. You cannot link screens, one screen to each other. And also, I love my iPads and my iPhone and but I have always deep relationship with full printed pieces. Yeah, that's so different. What would be your main argument to express that it's a must-have?
Well, that is really a great question because I think that today variable data, and I'm talking commodity variable data, text, images, barcodes, is a commodity. Every product needs variable data, may it be for brand protection, may it be for smart packaging, may it be for Sunrise 2017, like the barcode revolution. Variable data is here and it's a must. If you're not there, you will be, for sure. But more than that, I think that apart from the commodity variable data capabilities, we have customization tools. And these customization tools can really make a difference in the ROI that you get for each label or each product that you sell. Because eventually, you don't need to change the product itself to get ROI. You can change the label and get ROI for the personalization, for people taking the picture of it, uploading it to their social media, for doing co-creation, for doing consumer engagement, for doing any type of activation, similar to what we talked about Nutella Twins, but more than that, imagine that you can allow people to take the best picture of the loveliest place in their country, upload it, and then with a barcode, you can have a 360 image of this place and allow people to travel this location without going outside. These types of activations is allowing the brands to increase their ROI in the same price that they're printing the regular label. Today, variable data customization and personalization, if you're not doing it, I think you're missing out.
And to get it right, so we don't talk in that sense print for one. When we talk about customization, it means also mass customization.
So the fact is that you can always connect the dots. I always love to say that HP is a universe of capabilities. Medias, inks, and different software solutions, sustainability, security, brand protection. The superpower of brands today is to build the constellations, to connect the stars in such a way that we have never seen before. And this constellation is unique to each brand, even if they're using the same tools. I hope that I managed to explain this.
I think you explained it very, very well. And for that matter, I think you're 100% right, because thinking back at those printed products that you just described, well, people are keeping them, they put them on shelves, they put them at display because they resemble themselves or something else. So, and that's the main differentiator. I mean, exactly hitting the point. You keep it on the shelf and it has a long life or a longer life. And I think that makes all the impact.
There's something really crazy. You're right. People save these. But more than that, we created a campaign with Cadbury where they celebrated the championship of Liverpool winning the Champions League. And they sold it only on the Liverpool website. 60,000 Cadbury chocolates were sold in 3 hours.
Wow.
And you can still find them to this day on eBay, sold for crazy amounts of money, because it's a one-of-a-kind dedicated for a specific occasion that people love.
Right.
So you can imagine that you can actually have revenue yourself as a consumer on this printed product.
For my part, I do have one last question for you. Well, if you could, you being in that creative world every day, every hour, if you could collaborate with any artist or any brand on a print project, what would that be for you and why?
I think this question is unfair, because I think I already I lived my dreams to that extent. I would love to work with Banksy. I think that we can do crazy stuff together.
Wow.
With his crazy ideas.
Well, Banksy, if you're listening, just reach out to Guy and he'll make things happen. But who knows, right? Andreas, any last thoughts on your behalf?
My statement was always, we have no limits in print when we do it right. When we understand print as the core of all creativity in setting up a good communication between people, between brand and people. So I'm very happy. And maybe we can have additional podcasts in highlighting, if you are allowed to talk about it, with your partners from the brand or the design agencies and also the PSP, when we talk about how complete can a spectacular campaign happen. So maybe we can find a case to talk about it. What do you think?
Within HP, we have an amazing brands and agencies team. We have super talented marketers that know how to approach the brand, tell the story, engage with them to break the brief. That would be an amazing story, yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Well, Guy, it's clear we can go on for hours and hours, and do deep dives into all the fantastic things being print. But unfortunately for this episode, we're at the end. So thank you very much for coming on. It was really a very, very nice talk, very insightful. So thank you, Guy. And as we said, we'll do some follow-up in the near future.
Perfect. Thank you. And again, thank you for inviting me. It's always fun to talk about what we do, but especially with experts on print like yourself. So thank you.
Take care.
Take care. See you in the next one, Guy. Bye-bye.